Hello everyone, TheSkilledRoy here, back with another Legends of Runeterra video. It has been a little while since the release of the last main expansion for LOR, which marked the end of Shurima, which means we're nearly on the verge of Region 10. Obviously, you might have already heard my thoughts on that, but in case you haven't, be sure to go back and check out that video, as we are likely only a little while away before the expansion is revealed. Speaking of which, what exactly do we know about Region 10? Well, currently the in-game roadmap only goes till July 28th, which implies that we're getting another roadmap right after. Considering it's been about a month since the Rise of the Underworld's release date, we're looking at about one more month before the Region 10 expansion. That said, generally speaking, we're about 2.5 weeks of car reveals and trailers beforehand, which means we're only about a week or two away from learning what the new region actually is. Now before that, there's actually a really good likelihood that we know what the new mechanic is going to be for that region. So if you recall, Targon brought a new card type to the game with landmarks, and Shurima added level 3 champions with Nasus, Renekton, and Azir. Thanks to some data mining, we have a pretty good idea of what we know is coming up next for Region 10. Now these assets were data mined a while back, and although they've had some generally small cosmetic changes, they have remained mechanically consistent in what they imply. These of course are what I referred to previously in my Region 10 video, dual region cards. What does this mean? Well, that means for every single card type in the game currently, from landmarks to followers to spells to even champions, their region border now has the capability of showing 2 region symbols instead of just the 1. This is very interesting. For those of you who don't know, this dual region idea isn't even new to card games. In Hearthstone, we have dual class cards, meaning 2 different classes can use the same card. And in Magic the Gathering, we already have a variety of different dual color cards. It makes logical sense that we would do something similar, considering Legends of Runeterra has taken some of the best parts of both of those games. So the big question then is, how does dual region cards work? Well, we don't know entirely yet, but there are 2 generally sides you can sort of look at it, so let's pull up an example. And who better than a character that was already confirmed in this battle pass to be arriving very soon, and that is Senna. Senna, in the lore of League of Legends, is closely related to the ongoing Ruination conflict, and while her original card is obviously in Demacia, this was before she was killed and captured by Thresh, not to mention her tie to the Ruined King Viego and Ixtal. There is a genuine case that Senna could in fact be a dual region champion with Demacia and Shadow Isles. So let's look at this hypothetical Senna. What deck can you play her in if she is a dual Demacia and Shadow Isles champion? Well, the first and probably the most obvious possibility is that you can only run her in a region combination which is purely those 2 regions. This means you must run both Demacia and Shadow Isles in order to play her. Now this option isn't too bad. It has this huge upside that allows you to make more powerful and splashy cards because you know that players will not be able to go to say Ionia to grab Deny or go to Piltover and Zaun to grab like Mystic Shot. However, it also means that fans of a character are essentially being railroaded in what decks they can or can't play. For example, the average Demacian champion, when Region 10 comes out, will have 9 region combinations that they can play in, Demacia plus one of each of the other regions. This is pretty nice because let's say you're playing Jarvan or Garen, you get a wide variety of different decks you can try and experiment with to go for. Hell, Garen and Jarvan have already seen plenty of play outside of their usual region combination, and sure, they're not always tier 1, but it's nice to have a wide variety of possibilities. And to that end, I'd like to propose what I think dual regions will work like, and what I think is better for the health of the game. This is the quote-unquote unlocked variant of dual regions. This means when you put a Senna into your deck, it means you can now play her in Demacia or in Shadow Isles. This means that instead of the 1 region combination possibility, or even the standard possibility of a Demacian champion only having 9 regions, you instead get 17 possible combinations. Senna could still be run in a Demacia Shadow Isles deck, sure, but that means you could also run her in a Demacia Freljord deck, or in a Shadow Isles Ionia deck. This flexibility allows players to truly have more options when they're playing the game and when they want to play their favorite champions. Another great point for this version of dual regions is that it really helps soften the blow of the expansion system dramatically. For me, I'm someone who really enjoys playing Bilgewater decks, but unfortunately since Pyke was the last champion for the previous expansion, I had to wait over over half a year for a new Bilgewater champion. But because dual regions can be played in a wider variety of decks, it means that regions will be more likely to get more cards more often because many of these cards will be able to work in multiple regions. Now, of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. They have to be very careful with these cards because if they are in fact dual region, they might be able to cause spilling of mechanics into other regions. For example, let's say Olaf, a character who has canonically had a history in Bilgewater. If we make Olaf a dual region champion with Freljord and Bilgewater, the developers will have to make sure that Olaf, when you're running him purely as a Bilgewater champion in like a Bilgewater Piltover deck, he doesn't have access to some of the more powerful tools that Freljord brings to the table, such as Frostbite. Now, this is the main danger, but it's worth mentioning it's far from impossible. Many card games that opt for this unlocked method are actually able to balance their game pretty beautifully. Hell, Magic the Gathering has both unlocked and locked versions of dual colors, so honestly, either is entirely possible. But tell me, what do you think? Do you think that you have a good idea for a champion that could become a dual region champion? What method do you prefer, the locked duels or the unlocked duels? Leave a comment below and let me know. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support my work in delivering LOR data mines and news, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way to helping the channel. But if not, no worries, I appreciate you watching all the same. If you have any questions or theories or things you might want me to look into, feel free to message me on Discord, a link of which will be in the description of this video. Anyways, see you all soon for the Region 10 announcement. Thanks again, and peace out.